welcome back to Classic Comics. Today I'm reviewing Star Trek Picard, Episode 7, Nepenthe. So, this episode is where we finally get to see Riker and Troy, or I guess I should just call them the Rikers since they're married now and they have a kid. So we start this episode with another flashback, and we get to see Commodore O speaking with Dr. Jurati. And she mind melds with her to show her what will happen if synthetics are allowed to exist, and we see a bunch of chaotic images, and Commodore O is like, yeah, I'm on a mission from Gad. Then she tells Dr. Jurati that what she needs to do will involve sacrifice. So clearly, she's the one who put Jurati up to killing Maddox. Then she performed a stirring rendition of Soul Man. Then we go back to the present, and everyone on the Siren is prepping to head for Nepenthe, the planet that Picard and Soji transported to last episode. And they speak to Eleanor, and he says that he's needed here and they can leave without him. Okay, I guess. I mean, I'm not sure why they need him so badly, but okay. So they warp away to meet up with Picard on Nepenthe, and Narek follows and chases after them. Then we go to Nepenthe, and we see Picard and Soji arrive there, and they are immediately met by Will and Deanna's daughter, Kestra, who's dressed like a Native American, complete with face paint and feathers and a bow and arrow. Now, not that I really care about such things, but isn't this cultural appropriation? Isn't this supposed to be a no-no to the whole woke crowd? Or is it just another example of how SJW types are hypocrites and practice do as I say, not as I do? Then they get to the Riker home, and he meets Deanna and Will again. And I have to say, seeing them together did give me a good feeling. I like seeing these characters on screen again after all these years. So when Riker realizes that Jean-Luc needs a place to lay low, he activates defenses and shields and sensors. Then Picard suggests adding anti-cloaking scans as well. Okay, so let me get this right. Rikers House has anti-cloaking sensors. If Rikers House has anti-cloaking sensors, then wouldn't it seem likely that Starfleet vessels would have anti-cloaking sensors? And if Starfleet ships have anti-cloaking sensors now, then wouldn't that mean that cloaking fields are pretty much useless? I'm just asking because this just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. This reminds me of that Star Trek Discovery episode where they're trying to figure out a way to detect cloaked ships. But then in the middle of their episode, they detect some cloaked ships. So you're left thinking, well, why do they need a device to detect cloaked ships when they can already detect cloaked ships anyway? Oh, Kurtzman, why do you do what you do? So, after everything that's happened, Soji has some trust issues, which is understandable. She's suspicious of Jean-Luc and the others after what Narek did to her. But that's okay because Kestra and her are like totes besties now, because, you know, whammon. Oh yeah, and Riker is making pizza, and that's pretty much what this whole episode is about. It's about Riker making pizza. And the main ingredient is this rabbit meat that they get because their strong, independent, stunning, and brave daughter hunts the rabbits and gets the meat for them. Because, you know, the future is female and blah, blah, blah. Welcome to Imzadi's Pizzeria. We have a pepperoni, a sausage, alien rabbit. What you want? 3 breadsticks with a purchase of medium or large pizzas. How about the Noid? You remember the Noid? We bring back the Noid to be our mascot. How you like? So, yeah. And I love how Riker has, or rather he had, dark brown hair and green eyes, while Deanna had black hair and dark eyes. And yet their daughter Kestra has blonde hair and blue eyes. Well, old buddy, you may want to take a good look at the milkman. I'm just saying. So Picard tells them that he and Soji need to hide out for a while, but he won't say exactly why. So then Riker meets Soji, and then she tilts her head to the side the way Data used to do, out of nowhere. And after she leaves, we get a scene where Riker deduces that she's an android because of the way she tilted her head, and that she must be Data's daughter. Now, that might be a little bit more believable if she'd actually done the head tilt thing more than, I don't know, once. How many times she'd do that? Once, maybe twice in this whole series? But okay, whatever. Meanwhile, Riker is practicing for his audition in Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay. What the fuck are you doing? You can't have Ontarian basil and venomous rabbit on a pizza, not without Cardassian cauliflower. That rabbit is so undercooked, it's humping the breadsticks. It's so undercooked, it's just said, "What's up, Doc?" What are you? Are you that stupid? That is disgusting. Get the fuck out of my kitchen! Then we go back to the cube, and Eleanor and Hugh are discussing activating the cube and taking it away from the Romulans. Then Narissa shows up, and Eleanor fights her, and she kills Hugh. And before he dies, he tells Eleanor that he needs a former Borg to activate the Queen's cell and take control of the cube. So then Eleanor activates a distress beacon that 7 of 9 had given to Picard, and I think we all know where this is going. Then we go to the Siren, and Girardi vomits. And, because Commodore O had her swallow a tracker. So I guess that's what's making her sick. Now, again, just asking, but this far in the future, wouldn't they have a better way of planting a tracker in someone than just having them swallow it? Wouldn't they inject something beneath the skin or something like that? It just seems really low-tech for around 400 years in the future, doesn't it? So we go back to Nepenthe, and they have dinner, and they eat the pizza. Yay, pizza party. I'll spring for the bounce house. And they try to convince Soji that she can trust Picard, and of course, it's the daughter who wins her over and convinces her. And she tells them about her dream about the world with the 2 moons and how the Tal Shiar are looking for her homeworld. And Picard and the others agree that she and Picard need to get there first. Then we go back to the Siren, and Rios knows that they're being followed because Narek is in a ship pursuing them. And he tells Girardi that he's beginning to suspect that Rafi might have a tracker of some kind. So then Girardi is feeling guilty, so she injects herself with a neurotoxin of some kind to get rid of the tracker, but it puts her into a coma. Then we get a nice scene between Riker and Will as they sit by a lake and they have a conversation. And I gotta say, I really liked this scene. It's the best scene in the episode. It really made me miss Next Generation. And then the Siren arrives, and Soji and Picard beam up, and the episode ends there. So, overall, this wasn't an awful episode. It actually had some good moments, mainly between Riker and Picard and Troy. But overall, this episode was really just kind of dull. I admit that the whole plot twist of Girardi falling into a coma was unexpected, but honestly, I just don't care about this character, so it didn't really have any impact for me. Also, the plot twist with Eleanor using the distress beacon to summon 7 of 9 was interesting. The previews make it clear what's going to happen there, so yeah. Kind of boring, but not too bad. Maybe this thing will pick up in the final episodes. It could happen. That's what happened with The Mandalorian. It was pretty dull through the first half of the season, and then it picked up at the end. So, have you seen this episode? If so, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you excited to see the next episode? Let me know in the comments, and if you like this content, please hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel before you leave, and hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.